Hi all, we're now coming into the 5th week of the UK's coronavirus lockdown, and a few things have really come to light. The government has been particularly careful on the kind of guidance that they put out, specifically around what is considered acceptable behaviour for going outside. Primarily, you go get your shopping if there's a medical need, if you're supporting someone, or for that 1 hour a day of exercise. They don't say 1 hour a day, one trip, but they say, go out for your regular exercise, and the guidance is an hour a day. One of the big things I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, and we have had some gorgeous weather here down in the south coast of the UK, is the number of people who suddenly have dogs or suddenly have a regular walk along the back fields up through the South Downs. Don't get me wrong, it is gorgeous countryside and absolutely should be enjoyed by anyone and everyone. I'm not claiming that I own it, it's not mine. It's just a nice section of bridleway that I walk along with the dog. But over the last few weeks I've seen a lot of people suddenly walking on this bridleway. And what really caught my attention was today, after a weekend of heavy rain. The last couple of days have just been absolutely soggy. And today was no exception. The ground was deep mud. It was very difficult walking along the field. But what I noticed is suddenly no one's got dogs. Suddenly no one's walking up there. And it wasn't until I went on one of the local Facebook groups that I realised why it's been so busy. Someone has posted about how great a walk it is along those back fields and up into the conservation area. And other people started commenting about the car parking situation up there. And what I realised is that people are driving in to go for lovely long walks through the little section of the South Downs that I live in. And this is a problem. If we're supposed to be social distancing and we've got people coming in from all over to go for lovely long walks down these country lanes, that defeats the object. That means us locals can't use them. Now, I'm not saying locals, this is a local shop for local people. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that we're in a lockdown. We've been told don't travel, and people are driving in to go for a walk. I live in a flat and rely on these countryside walks. I don't have a garden I can go and let the dog out in or let the kids run round in. But there are people who have wonderful gardens, wonderful homes, who are driving in to go for a walk in the one place, the one open public space that I've got left to walk my dog. This is why the parks in London were being shut. You've got people who don't need them, who are using them, and the people who do need them can't then use them. It boggles the mind how selfish these people are. And it really showed itself today. With the soggy, muddy ground, there was not another soul in sight. Between leaving my flat and getting home, I walked approximately 3 kilometres with the dog. And in that time I saw one other person who was riding their bike on their way to work. It's amazing. One tiny bit of bad weather shows who is really using these facilities and who is abusing them. And I think it's about time we started calling out the people who are abusing these beautiful areas. Given that the UK government has announced another 3 weeks of this lockdown, at a minimum, they said this is the minimum that they're going to do, another 3 weeks. I really think it's important that we start calling out the people who are abusing these open spaces. Because if they continue to do so, the rest of us who rely on them and need them aren't going to be able to use them. It's phenomenal that people are coming up here and walking all over the crops. I walk through farmers' fields. These aren't just big empty spaces. These are working fields filled with crops ready to be harvested in the autumn. And huge swathes of them have been trampled by people who have no idea what they're doing and no regard for anyone else other than themselves. And maybe little Tarquin. God bless his heart. It's really frustrating to know that I live among such rabid arseholes. And they are the worst. They are just going to ruin it for everybody else. But what can I do about it other than this?